generally.
Yeah.
Things are starting to pick up back up, but I mean, there are some people that are in the woodworks. Like one of my clients I've been working with for 4 months. I just got them a house yesterday. Thank God. Good for them. Congrats to them. But
Yeah.
they weren't getting the market, and like I've been putting offers with them for a little bit. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and it all worked out. But I can see a little bit of lull. And plus, remember, we've been locked up for like 2.5 years. So now like there's good weather. And in Canada, there's only like, especially in Ontario, there's only like 3-4 months of good weather. Everyone wants to go out and,
Yeah.
you know, with their family and stuff. However, that's not an excuse for not lead genning, but I can understand. So we just have to be a little bit more patient, because what I've noticed and what I've told my team members is you make those calls, maybe not tomorrow, but maybe a week later or whatever, they'll get back to you or they'll send you an email. And that's what you're doing still.
What's up? And like I said Nick, some people, and I've taken your advice. I know about the scripting and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it comes to a point where I'm going to be kind of negative. I mean, it comes to a point where we could do all the scripting we want, but if a person is not ready, I mean, you could twist things around in sales, but if a person is not ready to make a big purchase, like, other things you can do in sales, but when you're buying a home, if a person is on the fence, they're not gonna. I mean, you could spit on the words you want, but if a person is not ready to make a purchase, I mean, it's gonna be challenging for someone to kind of get out of the mindset to kind of make a purchase, Nick.
Totally.
You know
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're saying with scripting, but if a person is still kind of contemplating, Nick, I mean, they're not buying. They're not buying a pair of jeans or buying a pair of shoes. I mean, those things are kind of trivial. But if they're buying a home, especially today,
right?
It depends on the timing. For me, it's just kind of luck. I mean, I've had people, and I just haven't, able to pull the trigger on some people for some reason. Right. I mean, I have one lady, and like I said, she came back on my website. I think she's ghosted me since August, and she came back, and yesterday she keeps looking. I'm not going to call her anymore. I mean, it's been a year now. So I mean, either she's just looking for the sake of looking, but
right.
Some people have just been for like a year now, almost, and they've just been searching my site. Right. They keep coming religiously on my site.
I mean, I understand.
You know what I'm saying, Nick? It's
just throwing it out here. So just a few things. Those are all, I understand, right? But you have to understand, why is Agent Locator so powerful? This is why I know it's powerful.
Of course.
Is because remember, we're in real estate. No one's gonna come in and say we want to buy a house today. Everything is planned. Whatever, like the best part about these Agent Locator leads is that they're early in their searches. That's why it's powerful. So we have to understand that the leads that we're talking today, we're not going to get, you're ready to go, right? What we're going to have to do is it usually takes anywhere between 3 to 18 months. So what this is going to do is test your follow-up game. And from what I'm hearing from I understand like,
like I said, Nick, I know some agents, for some reason, some agents are able,
but you gotta,
some agents could convert. Some agents are not good at follow-up, but then they convert. Some agents like me, I follow up religiously. Just the converting part is the challenge. I mean, maybe it's the timing. Some agents don't follow up as much, but some agents are able to convert. Maybe they just have the perfect timing, or the clients they deal with are just they're ready. So for me, it's just patience at this point, right?
Right. So I mean, like, I've been through all those stages, but what I can tell you is that what you're doing is you're just planting seeds. So like, as long as your follow-up is good, like, so do you have a monthly newsletter that goes out? Are they seeing you as a professional, not just some random person calling you? You know what I'm saying? Do you have do you send videos about the market and stuff like that to your leads, right? Like, these are all extra things. Like I included Bomb on my Agent Locator, and we're sending videos like that. If we don't get a touch with them, because I understand, like, it's a little bit harder, but that just means that we have to be a little bit more lucrative and position ourselves a little bit better. We understand that the thing about real estate and why a lot of people fall off is because real estate is not an instant gratification sport. You know what I'm saying? It's, you're doing all this hard work, praying to God that tomorrow you strike some gold,
Of course.
So, I can understand that you're frustrated, and you know what? Like, I get frustrated too. And what we just do is, like, I literally call one of my agent's friends and I just be like, man, I'm frustrated. Can I just vent for a little bit? Because it's so hard, right? Having a team makes it a little bit easier. But I think what it comes down to, man, like, I mean, it doesn't matter how good your scripting is, depending on the timing. So we need to make sure that we're always, just building that relationship. Because for me, like, I'll talk to someone once, and then as long as that conversation goes very well, dude, when they're ready to like when they like sometimes I fall off on the follow-up. I'm only human, but they call me because that conversation was so strong. And you also have to realize that they're not just going to your site, they're going to 5 other
Yeah,
sites at
of
least.
course, yeah,
So
makes
so you
sense.
don't know if you're the best out of those 5 or you're second or third. So maybe they're not responding to you because maybe there's someone else that caught their attention a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
So it's just hard, right? Like,
No, no,
but
understandable. No, no, makes
yeah,
sense.
but you're doing a great job. And I just think that, it's just like when I get a little bit low on energy and my batteries are drained, I literally go on YouTube, I watch some motivational posts. Like for me, I know that gets me going. But what we can do is I'll do some of the calls on your end and just kind of like showcase the way that I would kind of go things. So I'm gonna play as your sales rep essentially, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you work on his behalf, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't know if I have all the logins.
I don't think you do. Let me just send that. Yeah, give me one
Yeah,
second and I'll get it all out to you.
Yeah, there was a new, like I said, there was, like some people, like I said, I have some people, like, I have at least 2, 3, they still have to contact my mortgage person.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna call them anymore. I mean, if they want to call me, I'll follow up with them again, but I'm not gonna bombard them with phone calls. They know what to do. Like I have one lady, her boyfriend has to do his taxes, right? So for me to take her out, she has to do it. He has to. So she needs. I mean, I'm not going to take people out. She knows that she has to get her ducks in order before looking at houses.
Yeah,
right?
but I think the problem
if,
and the disconnect is though, because remember, for people who are first time buyers, all this is so new and like you got to kind of take the hand. Like I understand that it's like, you know what, like here's the mortgage advisor, like call him and figure it out or get your taxes done sooner.
No, I've kind of, and that's, well, for the mortgage side, Nick, obviously I mean, I'm not a number guy, but they have to get the ducks in order in terms of.
No, I understand.
No,
But
understand,
when I'm trying
but
to talk about holding hands, is like,
of
hey man,
course, yeah.
let me tell you something. If you wait any longer in the last 3 months, the interest, like I just made a post on my Instagram about the interest rising, saying that like in March it was 4.0, like it was basically a difference of $462 a month. So if I don't get you motivated, hopefully you spending more money is going to get you more motivated.
But
Because,
it was kind of funny because there's a mortgage person up in Barrie. I followed him on Instagram, and when people don't realize, pre-pandemic, the rates are actually lower than, so people are making a big deal, but before the pandemic hit, the rates were actually higher than the rates are today.
Yeah.
So people are making a big stink about it, but people don't realize before 2019, the rates were actually much higher than they were today.
yeah.
So people make this big hoopla, but it's not panic because the prime rates were actually higher back in 2019 compared to today. So they're making this big, obviously the rates had to drop because of the COVID hit, but people don't realize the rates people thought the rates were always like this for the past, they were never that low. They were low because to kind of help people to get back in the economy, right? So it's a typical market, Nick. It's not, I mean, the rates are still kind of relatively low.
Right. But this is where the problem is. Like, and I even have this problem too.
Yeah.
Is like, we're professionals, right?
Yeah.
You and I, professionals, we can talk about this all day. We understand it. But when it comes to normal people, they don't know, right?
Yeah.
They don't know anything, right? And like, that's the hard part. So I found taking that extra step and educating them, hey, let's go for coffee. Let me like just chat with you about why it's better. Let me, so what I mean, you have a mortgage advisor. But for me, I find this strategy works. So I have a mortgage specialist on each branch. So I usually ask them, who do you bank with? Okay, because people are more amped and more motivated to work with like a branch that they already know than getting new representation, right? So, if they say Scotia and you give them the Scotia rep person, and I'd be like, hey, also, can I give you my broker's number as well, just in case if you want a second opinion? But call this person, I'll let them know that you're calling them. And if they don't hear from you in a day, I'm going to give them your number so they can follow up with you. Is that okay? They always say okay. So, I mean, like, it's just doing these extra things and it's just follow-up game, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just straight up follow, and you're not bothering them, right? Like, this is what I teach my team members. Like, you're not bothering them. If you call them and no answer, it's a not yet. It's a not yet. Like Kayla, my team member, she was feeling in the funk a little bit too. But last week she got 3 calls from people that didn't call her back. So it's just like, it works, man. It's just not instant gratification. And like, if you're not getting the result, then we need to try something different. Maybe it's something in the follow-up. Maybe it's something like if the mortgage area is starting to block you, then maybe we need to figure out a script or a solution or a system to make people feel a little bit more confident, to get them pushed through a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem that I have is people not seeing the value right now. Most people do, but like obviously there's some that we're working with that, you know, just don't get it, but they are getting it. It just takes time.
Well,
and everyone has their-
I've had agents in my office. I was on my last meeting, and some agents, and I have two agents saying I'm not going to work with these sellers. Some agents are going for listing appointments and they're not taking the listings because sellers they're, you know, they have unrealistic, and so some agents are saying I'm not taking that listing now because, you know, they're pricing too high, and the home's not going to sell.
Yeah.
And
So
some agents are just walking away. So because if I have to invest the money in staging and everything else, this home's not going to sell. So, you know, why would I take on that?
I get it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So
but listen, this is where the opportunity is. See, that's what you're saying. This is where I say, hey, I'll take your listing. I'll take your overpriced fucking listing. Sorry for my language. I'll take your listing. However, if you're not getting the tractions in 2 weeks, it's my strategy, and this is the strategy how it's going to go. We're going to either price drop or we're going to do something different, meaning like we're going to force the market. So like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Well, of course, yeah, I hear that.
I just don't have. I hear that. Figure out solutions.
No, I hear that. I hear that. And then I had one agent who's a top agent. She went to, and she said, Mary, I met the seller. He wanted overpriced price production and reduce my commission. She goes, I'm not. She goes, then deal with that agent. I'm not going to reduce my commission and overprice your home. I'm going to walk away. And she walked away from it. Some people want, you know, I mean, you're not going to deal with someone who's going to cut the commission, Nick, and then overprice.
No, I hear you.
The home is never going to sell. No, not today's market. If you're going to overprice it, right? It's going to take at least it's going to take at least double the time, right? And the money you're going to spend on advertising and stuff like that. So some agents are just not taking listings right now. They're saying no, unless you price it unless you price it at my price, right? Unless you listen to me, So it's kind of a battle now between buyers and sellers, right?
Yeah.
Buyers want to wait. They think the shoe's going to drop, and sellers think that it's January 2022 again, that the prices, the market has really dropped, right?
So let me ask you a question. So this is great for everyone for scripting. So let me ask you a question. Hey, Mario, you know, the market's dropping. I want to wait till the market drops even more because I know it's going to drop more. How do you respond to that?
Well, I hear that, Nick. Unfortunately, the longer you wait, there's the your buying power will reduce because the rates go up. Then what you're qualified for will be much less, and you're going to be paying a higher cost in terms of the mortgage itself.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of it's hard to explain on the phone, Nick, because
but you're not asking questions. So this is what I would do differently. Yeah. So let me ask you a question. At what point? So the same question, right? Yeah. So I would be asking you, Mario. So you're the salesperson. So what point? Sorry, you're the client. So what point would the market have to drop in order for you to feel comfortable to buy?
Mm-hmm. What's
the discount that you're looking for? Because in the Durham region where we're at, I mean, in the average price since March, the average price dropped 70K each month. So 70, 140, 210 on average in 3 months. However, in the last market stats, the average price in Durham region only went down 26K. So guess what? It's starting to swing up. So, you know, let me ask you something.
Well, what are your goals? And that's and then if a person.
But do you see the difference though?
Do you see the difference though? Of course, but then the person could flip it. So, well, I don't know because I don't know what my threshold is. I don't have a pre-approval. That's when it done.
Totally understand. So let's role play this just before I get into the call, because I think this is a good call for everyone to know, right? So go with the question and then I'll respond back to it.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have a pre-approval. So I don't know what my sweet spot would be, right?
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Now, have you ever considered, have you ever inquired about one before?
Not recently, no.
No? Okay.
Do you? So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what. Everything is good. My credit's good. My income's good, but I don't know what my sweet spot in terms of what I'd be qualified for in today's kind of crazy market, right?
For sure. So my question though is would you consider working with someone at your own branch, or would you consider working with a mortgage agent who can shop around for you and find you the best rate and get you higher pre-approved?
Well, probably the latter. Probably like a mortgage broker who can help me.
Would you feel comfortable? Okay, so just a few little bit of information. So what they do is they're going to ask you a few questions like your income and all that stuff. I mean, the person that I'm going to send you to, basically, as long as you're super accurate and you're being super real and honest, I mean, what will happen is that kind of give you a verbal over the phone of where you're at. And then as long as you get your verbal over your phone, I'll tailor the list to show you case what you're looking for. So since I have you on the phone, what are you looking for? Are you only looking in Barrie or Durham region? Where would you want to move next?
Well, preferably Barrie, but a place that's kind of affordable at this point, right? I don't mind traveling. So Barrie would be more preferred because obviously the city's more expensive, right?
Yeah, okay, cool. Well, Barrie's a great opportunity. Now, would you want only like a semi-attached? Are you looking at 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms minimum?
It all depends. I mean, ideally it'd be detached, but it depends on what I'm qualified for, because I know they might be more expensive, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Well,
I mean,
keep in mind,
I'm just looking to get to the
when
market.
you chat with my mortgage advisor, when you tell him all the numbers verbally, he's going to give you a verbal number. Obviously, like, you have to submit his documents, and that's going to clarify things. But at least when he finds his number, let's say if it's 700, let's just say, I'll tailor a list of homes that are going to sell in the 700s. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to waste your time, right? Like, I'm not here like one of those agents. So anyways, this is kind of how, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm getting that a little bit more comfortable. Now it's like, okay, like the next script was like, I'll forge him your info. Here's his info. Call him. If he doesn't call you, he'll call you tomorrow if that's okay.
Well, so that's what happened with one lady. I did forward information. I did speak to her about a week ago, and my mortgage person did call her. She never replied back. Now I did call, because she's waiting to August. And I said, and I kind of gave the same script you did. Like I said, well, why would you want to wait to August? I think the best thing to do at this point is get a pre-approval, see what you qualify for. And then we could and then she kind of liked the idea. So I kind of went through the whole role play with her. So the mortgage person reached out to her. I called her, but she never called me back. So it's that kind of, that tug and war with her at this point, because, the mortgage person reached out to her. She sent her a text, sent her an email. She never replied back to her. So I could call her. I called her. I don't want to call her every day, but I will probably reach out to her again in the week, see where she's at, right? Because she actually went on my website this morning looking at houses. So she's still looking without a pre-approval. So that's kind of a dilemma, because she keeps looking, and I know what she's doing, but she doesn't have a pre-approval. So it's kind of illogical what she's doing, because she knows she needs a pre-approval. She's waiting for August. So I see something like that. It's kind of confusing what she's doing, because she keeps looking at my website, looking for properties.
Right. But you have to remember, everyone's their own puzzle, right? Like, you have to understand that. So maybe for her, the strategy is, and I don't like to waste my time either, but maybe once you get the relationship a little bit better, you show her one house that would be maybe in the range you're at. Because some people need the motivation to see it in order to get it done, right? So, I just think that at the end of the day,
it is a game, Nick. I mean, real estate, it's a game. It's a chase game. You're trying to get these people to you're trying to get people.
I think the most important thing is building the community rather than being the sales rep, right? Being in the community is you educating all the leads that are coming in. So if you have good drip campaigns about first-time buyers, about what things to look out for, things of value, these are things that we do. Like, when people are ready, they call you. Right. So I'm just saying, like, I think if the calling is not working, maybe work on systems like texting or email campaigns that is, more motivating, and maybe, call back if you have other people that do, you have their home address, maybe start putting them on Nosy Neighbor and figuring that out,
Makes sense. And before we start, but that's what, like I said to you on my last call with you, Nick, I do get on a weekly basis on Mondays, I do get a rate sheet from my mortgage person. So on every Monday, I do send a quick email with an article with the market stat. So it's a market stat with an article to all the. So that's information for them too. That kind of keeps them top of mind too.
But think about this: how many people are doing that too, bro?
We don't know.
If 5 people go,
it's the same thing as a weekly email. A lot of people do weekly emails. Is like I have one lady. She in my area, she farms my area, and so she does every 3 months she puts something in Canada Post, right? Unfortunately, she did that, and there's 2 listings on my street that are not hers. So even if she's spending money in Canada Post, Nick, she does market stats every 3 months. It comes to my mailbox, and those 2 listings are not hers. So that doesn't work for either, Nick. And
remember, those are just it's farming, right? You're spending money in an area.
Yeah, of course, but
and you don't know when
those people didn't call her or maybe they decide to use.
Maybe they already had other relationships, right?
That's what I'm saying. So it's the same thing. A lot of people are doing those monthly emails, Nick. I mean, I think everything has been kind of. So if I'm doing the weekly emails,
so let me tell you what's more powerful: you sending that out, or you creating a quick little video saying, "Hey, just want to say, this is the new market sets. This is what it means for you." Okay. What do you think is more powerful? I'm not trying to be.
No, I don't know.
I'm just trying to give you the most success, and
of course.
This is things that I'm doing, and I don't get those frustrations as much. So I'm just letting you know from what I'm doing.
So you're saying the weekly stats or weekly emails, a lot of people doing it might not work for everyone because everyone does it now too, right?
Right, but maybe you're not catching their attention. That's what I'm trying to say. Because if you're just sending numbers out, people don't care about numbers. People care about numbers to back things up, but they want something. We live in an age where everything is scroll and everything is video now, right?
Yeah, of course,
So we want to catch their attention. That's the whole thing. And the best part about making videos, especially if you do your market stats, is if you make a generic one that says the basic stats and all that stuff, then you can use that on all your leads for that month.
Of course, I understand.
So and it's just trying to find other ways, because then at that point you're building a community. You look like a professional. People are like, wow, now I actually know what Mario looks like. He's a cool guy. He knows his info. You know what? I saw a house I like. I'm gonna reach out to him.
Okay.
It's also easier to explain what this actually means for you in like verbally talking about it than trying to type it all out, right? Well, a lot of people don't understand. They see a number but can't put what does that actually mean for me?
But see, Krista, the problem in today's society, and like I said, I have two boys, and I have a 17-year-old. The problem in today's society, our attention span is less than probably 5 seconds. That's why probably TikTok and all this stuff is quick, because those videos are so quick. The problem is I mean, YouTube, but that's the problem with TikTok, because things are so fast-paced, Crystal. People, the attention span is like boom. If you watch TikTok, it's crazy because you're just watching like a 10-second video, and that if you're going to be there for, like some people do, you can't be there spending like 20 minutes doing a video talking about market size, because people are not gonna spend time, Nick. I mean, the video has to be less than 30
3-minute. It's like a 3-minute market recap. 3 minutes.
I mean, even 3 minutes might be too long.
It's long, but you got to get the gist of it, the bulk of it in the first 30 to 60 seconds.
So you know what I would recommend on Instagram? Use a 90-second reel and try to use that as your timeline. That's what I just posted a video about the other day. Go onto my Instagram, you'll see it. But like,
and that's the max. That's the max. You don't want to go more.
And you can watch too when you're posting content. You can see what the average stay is, like how long people are actually watching, what their attention span is as well. So then you can adjust to say, okay, I need to, make it a little bit more intriguing in the beginning to get them hooked into to want to watch the rest of it.
Okay, it makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. And like, remember the video, like, let's not get so detailed. The video is to capture their attention. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
You know, so I can log in and start calling just because I know people are waiting and all that kind of stuff. I just let me just double check.
Like I have a person here. She's looking for a pre-approval since May, and she knows she needs her ducks in order as well. So people keep looking.
It's motivation. Like as I say, like I look at properties all the time. I would like to move. If I was in your dashboard, you would absolutely hate me. You would hate me because I'm always looking, but
but Crystal, these people that are looking, actually, I've spoken to, and they've spoken to my mortgage person. So these people this person's been since May. She just needs some couple of forms in my mortgage. So there's these people that have some people I've met. I mean, I met this guy back in January, him and his wife, and I met him back in January. He wanted to buy, but he was kind of pissed off because the market was too hot for him. Now the market's gone down, so he hasn't gone back to me. I mean, I met him and his wife in Barrie. We showed him 4 or 5 houses, but at that point, he thought the market was stupid crazy back in January. Now the market has gone down like almost 15-20% in Barrie, so it's a good time to buy.
Send me that code.
9240.
9240.
So Crystal, these people that are coming are people I actually met, and and some people I actually spoke on the phone. They're not just generic people.
No. I understand that. Yeah. So it can be frustrating, because I went and spoke to a mortgage agent the other day because I was doing whatever, and then I actually spoke to there's certain people that you just trust their opinion, right? So I went to see, and I was just talking about stuff, and she only followed up a couple of times, but I spoke to somebody else. He's like, no, just wait. He's like, if you don't need to do anything, if it's not necessary for you, because I was just looking to do like a refinance type of thing. He's like, just wait to 2023. Don't do it now. There's no point. Just watch. So there's certain, so like, and she tried following up, and I just kind of like, well, okay. And I ignored her. I'll probably send her an email just saying, hey, decided to put this on hold for now. I don't need to do this. And so everyone's scenarios are a little bit different, right? It is a dilemma, right? And it's kind of like, it's nerve wracking too, because it's a big decision and it's a lot of money, right? So for some people, they're hesitant, right? It's a commitment. When you're renting a house, it's like, okay, you're just renting a house. Like there's no large commitment. There's no obligation. There's no binding other than like a 1-year term. This is a 25-year commitment. And it's like getting married. You kind of get a little bit, nervous at the beginning.
So Nick, as of now, they actually increased it by 100 basis points.
Yeah, 1%. My person just told me.
So they increased it. I just got a notification. They increased it 100. So it's the highest since 1998.
Yeah.
So now it's 2.5. So that's going to put that. So that's, I thought it was 0.75, but they increased it by 1. It's actually higher. That's higher than people expected. 100% basis points.
It is what it is. Can't control those things. So okay, I'm gonna get right to the call.
Well, so people gonna refinance in 5 years. It's be a good time for us as agents in 5 years. Where people have to kind of sell their homes.
It's gonna be the people that have to refinance or like renew their mortgages by like this year that are going to be the most affected, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
And people got into, like me, like I know my mortgage is up in 2023. So
yeah, it's just kind of watching and seeing and yeah, because there's going to be a ton of people that are going to get affected, or they bought, in 5 years from now, they bought at the 1.9%, and 5 years from now, I who knows, you might see that rate again, but I was going to say you highly doubt it, right? So their mortgage payments is automatically, it's just a different game. So
well, people don't know, Chris, like I said, I mean, I used to work at CIBC back in 1999. I mean, I'm aging myself. But in 1999, 98, a 5-year close was 7.8 on a good 5-year close. So people don't realize that back in even 20 years ago, a good mortgage was 8% for 5 years. But people thought people kind of been spoiled now the past 5 years.
Yeah.
With cheap rates, right? So people.
Absolutely.
But the only problem is, Nick, if the inventory levels go down, like you were saying, by the fall on Christmas, and if the rates go up and the inventory levels go down, the price is not going to go down like 300,000.
So if inventory goes low, demand. So if there's not enough demand, what happens to supply? I mean, prices go up.
So the prices. Right? So if you're like I said, like you're buying, like I had a friend of mine, he was kind of foolish. He bought a house in Barrie, brand new build, 1.15 mil, a 4-bedroom home. I said, you made a mistake. It's closed in 2025. Why would you want to buy a home 1.5 now? Because you're gambling that in 3 years the prices are. So what happens in 3 years? Like, why would you buy a house? It's overpriced, a builder from 1.5.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see what happens.
It's kind of foolish. So that's a problem. So the inventory levels go down, the price is not going to go down.
So it's foolish. Well, that's what we say, but like, I mean, 2025 is still another 3 years. We don't know what the fuck's happening in 3 years. It could go down, or maybe is this another upswing? Because like we've learned in the last 6 years, every 3 years, there's been major price hikes in homes. So, I mean, it's not every 10 years anymore, but I agree with you. It's a risk.
We're just hoping for another pandemic to happen in 2 years that the prices will go, the rates go down again, right?
Crazy. Okay, I'm going to start calling, guys, just like I want to get some calls out of the way.
Okay.
So I'm going to share my screen and blur. I'm going to just share this screen because I have 2 screens, and then I'm going to call on the other screen. Is that okay? So you guys don't really see anything right now, right? You guys just see like doing stuff. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So let me share my sound. I'm on my headphones, so
okay. Yeah, if you guys are hearing a delay, like he's over speaking somebody or cutting them off, it's often just the delay from being connected to his earbuds.
Oh, did you see a message from Sabrina? She's not happy.
Mm-hmm.
And you read her chat, Crystal?
Yeah.
It happened to me
Happens.
too. It happened to me. I'll tell you later. It happened to me before. So.
You have reached.
Yeah, Nick, it happened to me a few weeks ago. I was talking to one guy a few times, and then I texted him. He said, "Would you really purchase a home?" I had three conversations with him, and then he said he spoke to an agent, and so it happens to that people. You have a good conversation and decide to.
But that's all it is, man.
So sometimes, yeah, he went.
So I'd be focusing on just making those
Sure.
calls. I wouldn't even care about sales. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Customer service and customer relations, and it'll go from there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes together and sometimes it doesn't. We can't control somebody else.
Yeah, because I just read Sabrina's message.
There's people out there. At the end of the day, let's switch the mindset. There's people out there that are in your database that can buy with you. So let's get it.
Your call has been.
Nice. You're using tags. Good job, bro.
Sorry?
You're using tags and stuff. Good job.
Yeah, I took Crystal's advice, so sometimes I do. Yeah, I did. I'm tagging some people that I've just fallen up with. Some people I'm just kind of waiting, Nick. Like I said, I have
for
people.
Sure.
Like some people I don't want to bombard them, but some people are just, you know, I'm just waiting.
I understand, man.
I have equal 4 or 5. I mean, that's going to be, but I follow up as much as I can.
So I can call the non-responsive ones, right?
Yeah, those people are.
Yeah, I would say call number 1, 2, or 3, or no, 1 or 2.
Well,
Or
yeah,
they,
that's what I'm
or
trying
they,
right now.
Yeah, Crystal, there's a lady that I told Nick this morning. There's one lady, she was one of my original leads from back in August of last year, and she came on website yesterday. I think she's kind of ghosting, and I talked to Jason. Jason said, "Well, she's just ghosting you, Mary. Don't reach out to her anymore."
Hey, you reach out. She's just
Hey,
not
is this
ready.
Claudia? Oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry, guys. It's so hard, like hearing
Yeah,
you guys chatting.
It echoes.
Good. I'm on a call though, like live, like the agent looking at your call.
Hi there.
So filter 1, you were saying, eh? Crystal?
Sorry?
Filter 1, you're saying?
Yeah, number 1 or number 2. So number 1 is the people he's never tried calling. Number 2 is the ones he's tried to call but hasn't connected with them yet.
And some people, Crystal, like some people, I mean, this one, the ones that haven't contacted, they've received. I was saying to Nick last time, they received at least about 400 emails, and they haven't subscribed to me. They keep looking religiously on my site, and I sent a text and called them a few times, emails. But, you know, it's just a wait and see.
It can be frustrating.
But it's okay. Like I said, it's a wait and see. Just plant the seeds, like Nick said. Just planting seeds. Hopefully grow. It does something.
Madison Davis.
Someone's gonna answer. We're getting closer.
Are you with KW, right, Nick? Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. I saw you. I'm looking you online.
Your call has been.
you've reached Krista Smurden at 705.
It's okay, guys. Like, I mean, I know if we're doing this, other people get it too. I mean, it happens to me, but you just got to keep calling, guys. That's all it is.
Right, I keep calling.
And your numbers are going down, right? Your call list. Nick, if you don't have to close that call window every single time. It'll just
I know. I just like to
update.
see. Yeah, I know. I just like to see because it's not my CRM, so I don't know.
Okay.
I know it probably hurts you, eh?
It's painful to watch. It's like watching sports. You just want to get in there and do it.
I feel like I need to just keep doing it now.
Someone's gonna answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's my frustration, Chris. That's what I go through when that's the phone. So.
I know, man. But remember, it's online leads. This is just what the lead gen is.
And you know what? When you think about your call list, right, it's about getting in there and getting those call lists down, getting them down. So, you know, whether or not you're talking to people, if you're just power dialing through it, you know, at least you're accomplishing what you need to be doing. And if you're consistent, people will start answering, right, and calling different times and things like that.
Hey there. We sent your call to a voice message.
Well, I'm calling consistent as much as I can, Crystal. So
yeah, no, and it's.
I wonder if you need to switch the number, like if you call on your cell phone.
Yeah, I do.
Because people, because people know this number now.
I kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes yeah, I do. I do call them off my cell phone sometimes, and I pick up some people off my cell phone, like the people kind of get they kind of get surprised when they hear my voice in the cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can tell those people didn't kind of try to ghost me for a while. So.
Well, these are ones that. What list are you calling off, Nick?
The second one, make call.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I'm just going down the list right now.
How many does he have in that list?
He only has 22 and I'm at like 14 right now.
Nice.
So let me just get this going.
Your call.
I'm surprised, honestly, that you haven't had one pickup yet.
I know, right?
It's maybe what day is it today? Wednesday. It is summer.
Well, I've tried, Crystal. I've tried different strategies. Sometimes I've called people, and I'm gonna have to piss off people, but I call people like even after 6 or 7 o'clock, and some people I called that late. I mean, some people kind of taking back some, but I know the morning, but I call people late, but that's what I have to do.
Well, 6 or 7 o'clock isn't too bad because you get people that work the 9 to 5, right? And they're getting home, and you know 7 o'clock is when they're actually have a minute too, right? So,
but these people are now responsive. These people are now responsive. Like I said, they've been on my database about 3 to 6, and these people are still kind of on my website. So they're now responsive people are religiously always.
Hey, Patricia, how you doing? I'm
good.
doing
How
well.
are
It's
you?
actually Nick calling. I work with Mario Tulsa. We want to thank you actually for coming on our website a while ago on homestobuy.ca. And we understand most people are just in the information stage kind of thing. But how are you doing today? You having a good day?
Yeah,
That's good.
I am.
That's good. So I just wanted to make sure, because I know that, you're probably in the information stage, and I just want to make sure I'm sending you listings that you do want to see. I do not want to be another agent that, we don't want to be another agent that sends you listings and bombards you with emails. So are you like, when you subscribed, you looked like you were looking in Barrie. Are you looking at specific properties in Barrie? Yeah. it was hard on that one because like I read on your notes, she already said she hung up before, so she just needed to kind of figure out who I was, and then you know what I
Who's
mean.
that?
This is Patricia John.
Yeah. So she hung up. So she hung up again on you.
Yeah. So
a person like that, would you just archive her, or would you just kind of keep her there?
I'm debating whether to call her back. I'm like, hey, sorry, I don't know if like we lost connection or you know what I mean.
You can send a text, just send a text message. Hey, we're like, you know, I'm not sure if our call got disconnected. I just wanted to make sure we're sending you the right properties. Right? Yeah. Like, you know, she might reply to the text message. So people don't have time to talk on the phone too, right? Or they're just not interested in having that conversation. They're not interested in having that conversation.
Yeah. I'll text her. Sorry, guys, I'm just texting her. So I'm just saying, hey, Patricia, hope all is well. I don't know if the call dropped or you intentionally hung up with a question mark. Are you still looking for a property in Barrie? I think that's pretty straight to the point. If she says no, then honestly, I would not even follow up with her anymore.
No, understand.
Or you put a 6 months check-in on her. Follow up with her in 6 months. Right? She's kind of off your radar for 6 months. Call her back.
Yeah. I'm gonna call Sam here. But whatever, it's all good. Mm-hmm. You know what? I should have asked her a question at the beginning if she was still looking, but I didn't want her to say no because I had a feeling she was going to say no. So I was just talking too much.
You did blabber a little bit.
I did, but like because I knew I'm reading the notes and I can see it.
Yeah, don't read the notes. Well, it's hard when you're reading and talking at the same time.
It's not my database, right? So
it's different. But these are people he hasn't really talked to, right? So.
No, these are people, but some people.
You have reached the voicemail box.
Yeah, some people, Crystal, like I've said, like some people, like I'm looking at some people I've spoke to back in May, and they spoke to my mortgage person. So some people I've spoke to and they're still on the fence. I think Tara's a new one. Cynthia, I spoke to this lady, she doesn't know if she wants to buy her, so she keeps looking. I had a few conversations with her since October of last year, but she doesn't know if she wants to sell. There's a girl named Fatima. I never spoke to her. I've been talking to her by text since probably 3-4 months, but she wants to wait. So she wants to wait. Her husband want to wait. But the market, now the market. So she keeps looking. I'm not going to call her because she told me she's reach out to me. When she buys, I keep kind of conversing with her by text.
Yeah.
And some
and
people,
that's all it is. It's just letting
one
guy,
Nick, this guy's rude. He told me off by text. I sent him a text on my phone. He keeps looking. He can't buy, but he keeps looking. He's self-employed. He can only purchase. And he spoke to my mortgage person. My mortgage person said, well, you need a co-signer. He got pissed off at me. I said, I'm just a messenger. I said, he wants to buy a house for $500,000. I said, well, he told me off by text, and he keeps looking at my site. And he told me off. I said, wow.
There's so many people, bro.
Some people, the drama some people give you on the phone, right?
You have reached the voicemail box of 6.
Sorry, I want to just try to get a good call here. Because I can feel it. It's almost there.
That's what I go through, Nick. My pain is sometimes when I call people. So
can I give you advice? And I don't know where you're at, but if I were you, I'd spend more on your ad budget. Because right now it sounds like I would spend more on your ad budget, because if your leads are kind of sitting right now, you need more people to get you motivated right now.
Well, I understand, but the leads have kind of quieted down too.
Like it's right now. It's even I've been talking to Sunny. It's like pulled off until about mid-August,
Yeah.
You're gonna ramp if you're gonna ramp your campaigns up mid-August, because right now everyone's
I'm just
slowing
yeah,
down.
because right now I think because I mean I'm hoping to get a couple of deals so I could ramp my budget up, Nick. That's the dilemma because I haven't had a deal in a while, so and it's going to be a catch-22. I think, but some agents, I mean, I think most people are paying what double. I mean, some people. I think the one lady she's saying she's spending almost $1,000 a month. That's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
But that's a lot of leads coming in, and one of them is going to bite faster.
Of course, yeah. But right
and
now,
then that means you get more of your money back. But I understand. Like, dude, I get it. You don't have to tell me. I get it.
No, I'm just saying. But you're saying by mid-August, right, Crystal?
Yeah, that's what's funny. When I was talking about another client, because she wanted to also ramp up her budget, just I wouldn't even bother right now. No point.
Yeah.
Right. It's just people aren't doing. It's not doing a whole lot. Time of year, people are on holidays. Like unless they have to move. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So the person that you have, like Alan or ALLYN, you put new listings at 182 Peel Street, Barrie. Is that her address?
No.
No, that could be the active listing. She could have signed up through Street Match or Homeworth, and that's what happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would put the reason why I'm saying this because this is a good opportunity to put them on Streetworth and then call them afterwards.
Well, if it's their address and their active listings, that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, I think
might have signed up for that. Yeah.
So I would make sure that you were signing her up for that. Like I would put her on the nosy neighbor campaign, and then I would let her know, like, hey, I just switched you to something a little bit more easier. Yeah.
But that's the same thing when they do it through the automated site, Nick. If they get automatically set up to receive sold or active, depending on your board.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So usually, if it comes in as the address, that would be why they signed up for either Homeworth or Street Match.
Because I know they added that feature on my website, the support, Crystal. So I do have the I think it's nosy. I think I have an option on my website.
Yeah, so then it could have been that where it's
yeah, because I have one lady up in Midland, and she did that. She actually wanted a home, so she actually put her. I spoke to her. She also needs, and she put her home address, but she hasn't decided if she wants to sell by him because she needs to speak to her husband. So she gave me her address, so she actually put it on her profile.
Yeah.
So most people don't.
So looking at your database, just because like I know I'm calling and not getting as much success or traction right now, but looking at your database, like the person that's Charles right now, I mean, like he's a really good lead because of your notes that you put in there. But like if he's already pre-approved, you spoke with the lead and he has a condo to sell in Toronto. Did you try giving him the script like, hey, I totally understand. It's great that you're pre-approved, but do you know how much your condo is worth right now? Because the market has shifted and, everyone comes to their own values. But here I am, you say your stats and you go, I'm here to help you out. And you need to know an accurate amount so you know what your accurate pre-approval is so we can get you that house you want in Barrie. Because you haven't called them since since June 20th, which is not too long ago. But I mean, dude, if he's pre-approved
already, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If he's pre-approved, he's looking.
Mm-hmm.
He was on your site last active 23 days ago, but I mean, he's looking at the emails every day. So I mean, this is a really good opportunity to define this is a call for you to call and like, hey man, just want to check in. Did you hear the news right now with the interest rates? The interest rates gone. Oh, I guess he left. I hope it didn't hurt his feelings. But no, that's a really good lead for him. Really good lead.
No, yeah, it's definitely
really
he's got leads in there. I think it's we can't force the process on somebody. Yes, there's a lot of flaky people that come in there. There's a lot of people that you can put all the effort into them and think that things are going to go great and then they don't. It's just being patient with the process and facilitating it and being there for when they're ready. We can't change or force somebody to move because it works with our timeline because we want them to do that. We have to wait until they're ready to do that, right? And so you want to build trust with that individual for sure. But it's just really being consistent. And he hates following up, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel like you're bothering somebody. Really, it's just you're re-announcing that I'm here to help whenever you're ready. You can leave them a message, like, I just want to make sure listings are still good for you. You know, if there's anything that's changed it or we need any updates, just let me know. You know, you don't be so connected to the outcome of leaving that message. Oh, they didn't call me back. A lot of people won't. You got to remember like your behaviors. Like how I said, I did it to the mortgage agent. I didn't call her back. Right. Like but she never, she's not taking it personally at the same time. Right. So it's just trusting that it'll happen and be consistent with your follow-ups because they will start to flourish. People will come through. And it sounds like in Mario's database, just based on what he's saying, there's a lot of people that are on the fence and they just need that little push, right? Because
so Nick, I'm sorry, my phone got disconnected. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like a, it's a big process.
You were saying about Charles. Yeah, Charles, I tried to get a hold of him, but he doesn't have voicemail. So I called him a few times. I spoke to him, but he wasn't calling back, but I could call him back again.
I mean, it might be aggressive, but maybe 2 times every other day. Do you know what I'm saying? Call him in the morning and the afternoon. And then when he calls or he answers and he's like, dude, why are you calling me so much? Be like, hey man, I'm so sorry. I just really want to get a hold of you because there's been a lot of great changes in the market. And as a buyer, these are great for you. And as a seller, I mean, there's still really good opportunity, but we need to start moving on it. You know, I know last time we chatted, you had a pre-approval. You know, how long is that pre-approval good for? Like I would start asking him, okay, perfect. Do you already know how much your condo in Toronto was? Okay, yes. When did you get that knowledge? Like who gave you that at what point? Because if he says a couple months ago, you throw it out the window and you're like, dude, I need to come in to do a quick little assessment. And at that same time, it's good to put a name to the face and I can show you how I can sell your house in top dollar in this market.
So right now, obviously you right now, obviously you couldn't get any hold of anyone, Nick. So unfortunately,
but I'm calling like new leads, right? So they don't know your numbers, but I'm looking through them. I'm looking at people that you have contact. Like, I mean, I'm not going to contact them because you already have a relationship with them. You know, if a sales rep calls them.
But the new ones, obviously they haven't. And some people, obviously, you see my new leads. The new ones don't have a phone number. Most of the past 5, if Crystal sees it, I sent them an email too. So some people, they have the numbers aren't service. So you saw my top 5 leads. Most of them don't have number. I just send them off my Gmail account.
But there's a lot of leads that you do have that you made connections with. You have detailed notes on. If remember your day on Agent Locator, you call the new leads. The new leads don't answer like today. You start working on people you've connected with and making sure that you're pushing them in the process. Like in my database, if I had someone like this, he's not sitting that long because I'm already going to be in there.
No, but I understand. But there's probably some leads. There are probably 5 leads, Nick, that don't have a valid phone number. So those people. For some reason, I mean, I know,
but dude, you're focusing on like the wrong things. That's all I'm saying. You're focusing on numbers. I'm saying the people, you've made a lot of contacts. I would keep building that relationship because remember, people like sometimes you need to talk to people 4, 6, 8 times before they like you, trust you, and then want you in to help, right? So you already talked to a few people on here. I would be like, so your day on Agent Locator, you call your new leads, they don't answer or they answer, great, you're done. What's next? What's next is now you start working on the people you make contact with. That's what you do next. So that means if you called them last week and nothing's really changed, you call to shoot the shit. You call it to like, hey, I just want to let you know this happened. This happened in the marketplace. This is not to discourage you. This is just to keep you updated. And if you're, if you want more real estate tips, follow my Instagram account. Like I make a lot of my like leads follow me on social media because if they follow me on social media, I'm another touch every day.
Okay.
So I think that like I get it. Like so let's reassess here. I think that you have some good opportunities. I think you're tied up too much on like the calling, no one's answered, all these emails, which I get because I get frustrated too. However, you have a lot of good leads that you made contact with. And like even that guy, Charles, like he's someone I'd be like figuring out and hopefully, he hasn't picked an agent yet. But you need to like, once you start saying like, hey, they need an assessment for their house or they have a property to sell. That's why it's important to ask, do you need to buy or do you need to sell and buy? Like what do you need to do? Because then once you get in the door through the home assessment, then dude, like as long as they like you through that meeting, you're the agent. That's it.
I hear that. Okay. So at this point so you will call. I mean, obviously you some people who are sitting the fence who are pre-approved. would you call them every other day? Would you wait until
No,
they
not
call
every
you up?
other day, but I would find like, okay, so maybe not calling, maybe now we need to find some articles to send to them, or find something that, something in real estate that is good for their scenario, or affects their scenario, So for example, the people that are sitting on the fence, the new hike rate that just got increased, once an article comes out or something, I would send that off to them with a little small blurb and be like, hey, I'd love to chat and give you more updates. Or like, you have to make it a little bit more like, people are not, the problem is like leads don't bite for basic things anymore, because competition has made so many other people like, their systems a lot more better. So if we come basic now, the problem is that like, they don't want the basicness. They want to be like, they want the whole treatment. You know what I'm saying? So they want like, the experience. Oh, okay, cool. Like, a phone call would be great. If I can't connect with them on a phone call, maybe drop a video. Cause like like myself, like I'm an agent that's dropping videos to my agent locator leads. Right. So it's just, and like, I've been getting a good, like 75, 80% watch rate. Like I haven't sent it to all of them, but I'm sending them to people who are active. So the active script is, hey, I saw that you're active. My goal is to make sure that you have a great user experience. Have you seen any properties you're interested in? If you have, please let me know. Or if your criteria change, please let me know below. That's it. And like, at least then it's like, wow, he's real. He's helping. I'm not just talking to, because the problem is that everyone does automated text. So people don't know if that's a real you or just email text that just goes out, or text message that goes out. And if they know there's a real person behind there, they're more likely to respond. And remember, once they like you, bro, and they know and they trust you, when they see a property,
well, I did,
I want to see this.
Yeah, because I did switch my introduction, because my introduction text with Agent Locator when I started was really bad. It was, and I told Jason it was very generic. So I switched it. Now it seems like a real person. Like it feels like me sending off a text as soon as they register.
Which is great.
It seems because the one with Agent Locator, the one when I started, it kind of seemed more robotic. It seemed like it didn't seem like a human was sending that text. So I told Jason about it, and we kind of worked so I have a different script now. So as soon as they register, it seems like I'm sending you a text from me.
Right. But what are you more likely to be compelled to message back to? A little quick video that I sent you, or a text message that enters there? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this that way. I'm just saying that like, this is the competition, right? I'm not in your area, so maybe they're not doing that in your area, right? But like, these are all lucrative things. And I know it gets tough. And I know if, especially like as an agent, if, deals haven't been flowing in, it gets a little bit more tough and that kind of stuff. But this is where the mindset and like the perseverance have to come in right now, right? Like, do you have deals in there? Like the people that you make contact, just keep chatting with them. Like, that's just really what it is.
Okay.
Hey, or like, especially like on a long weekend, hey, it's Mario calling. I just wanted to call to see how you're doing this weekend. How was your long weekend? Did you get to enjoy it? And they're like, wow, this guy's actually like calling me just to see how I'm doing, right? Like that was my big aha moment when I first started in real estate, is like when people started calling me back, I was like, well, why are you calling me back if you don't mind me asking? I appreciate it. And they're like, the way you made me feel. So now it's like, okay, I have to make people feel good so they can respond back to me. But you're doing a good job, man. But it's just, just keep working through it. Like it gets hard, but this is, this lead gen is not like, every lead gen is hard, right? This is the hard part of this lead gen. But it gets fun when you're talking to people and you build relationships and they hit you back up and you build a genuine friendship and a business like client. Right? It just takes time, 3 to 18 months.
No, it would have been, it would, like, at least I heard you. It would have been great to, I mean, at least I heard
more conversations, but you can't control people in.
Yeah, it would have been great. It would have been great if you connected with some people. You at least got one person hung up the phone on you, but it's okay.
But look at my motion. Like I didn't stop. I was like, okay, I feel it. Like, and that's what I've learned, like from calling so many times. If you're getting that whole, like, 45 minutes or 30 minutes of like non-success, keep calling, because life is just testing you. You're going to get a good call. Like you're going to get a couple good calls, right? And remember, lead gen is a 2-hour, 3-hour thing a day.
Yeah. Okay. And there's people, and those people, from your opinion, the people who are not responsive, like I was saying, like people who are on my database, who are on my who are not responsive, and you just let them just keep looking until they respond back to you then.
Yeah.
So I would, yeah, I
You're
would do
connected.
that.
You're too focused on the outcome. Is
Yeah.
what it is, and
No, I
so
know,
it's
but
driving you absolutely nuts that these people are looking at homes and they're not buying anything. So
Right.
just disconnect from the outcome.
Well, it's not the outcome. It's not the outcome, Crystal. It's not the outcome. It's just kind of strategies because to get, and that's because I listen to Tara, and Tara says she doesn't really. I
She
listen
doesn't
to
call
Tara,
anyone.
but I listened to her, and she says, well, she doesn't really do the voice, like she doesn't really call people. So, but there comes a point where she has to pick up the
She
phone.
does. There's a time, and it's usually about 30 days.
But she doesn't say that. When I listen to her, she's like, well, I don't really do that. I just.
It depends on their behavior. So she sits there and watches activity after activity after activity after. So there's a lot that she does mentally behind the scenes, and then from there decides, is it time to call this person? Right. So she and then when she does, it's a friendly, bubbly, like thank you, like whatever it is, and she's successful at that. Right. So it's more on a personal relationship connection, not like where are you at in the process? She doesn't ask all that. It's just a little. It's an alternate approach.
Like I said, I mean, I've been in real estate a long time, and I know that most agents, Crystal, are not going to. Unless, and I mean, and Nick knows we're a competitive field. A lot of agents are not going to give you, like, they're not going to give you their secret ingredient, what they do. Crystal.
Oh no.
And that's the thing. You listen to Tara, but she's not going to give you her secret ingredient, how she gets people in the car and how she could give you.
She will if you sign up for her coaching.
That's what I'm saying.
She's doing this for us.
Yeah,
crazy. You have to sign up. Yeah. She gives us a bunch of it. She gives us a lot of it, but everyone's different, right? So what works for her isn't necessarily going to work for you, right? So it's kind of taking different pillars and meshing them together to create a system that is unique to yourself that starts converting.
Can I be honest, Mario? I think that you're trying to find like the systems to make it happen for you, but like we have to understand that like what works for Tara, what works for me, like this is how we do it, right? So you have to figure out your specialty on how to make it work this way. So there's so many different ways of doing it. You can be, and like remember, out of 3 things in Agent Locator, there's text, call, and email. Maybe start while you're calling, maybe start mastering your email campaigns, right? Maybe make them more look branded, maybe like that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like start working on those email campaigns and those drips. And then once you notice that you're starting to get bites on it, that's great. Now work on the text side, because like there's no like, whoever does it one way or whoever does it the other way. It just really depends on like, you know what I'm saying? Like what it is. So it's just, everyone has their own way of doing it. We just have to, find out our own way.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, Nick. Okay.
Perfect.
But it was great chatting with all you guys. I have to hop on my next
As
call.
always. Yeah.
But thank you guys so much and have a great day.
You as well. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.